I would have driven through this and not even thought twice about it. Like, just pulled up and was like, yeah, no, that'd be good. That's over its waist. That was muddy.
Got it. 42s, baby. Careful, Matt. That's some Arkansas pinstripes right there.
We're out here in the Ozark National Forest, and we're about an hour and a half northwest of Little Rock. I own a shop, 3D Off-Road in Colorado Springs. I'm used to Utah and Colorado and Arizona type hard rock wheeling, not mud or river crossings. We like to wheel and camp places that we go, you know, either we'll destination camp or we'll find a spot that we want to hang out for the whole weekend and we'll go hit different trails all weekend. Going out and camping is part of what we do.
The most favorite thing for me that I love here in the Ozarks is the water crossings. It's early fall. Usually we have decent water this time, but coming out of the summer, we've had a little bit of a drought, and so things are a lot lower, the water level is currently. But once you get into the winter with the winter rains and then also the spring rains, it's awesome, and the water's really flowing well during those periods of time. I have a 2018 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. It's got a 3-inch lift with 37-inch Nitto trail grapplers.
So we brought out a 2022 392 Jeep Wrangler. It's on 9-inch axles. We have moto-built armor and suspension. We are on 42-inch Nitto tire trail grapplers. I came out here to Arkansas to experience what these guys have to offer. What we built, is it worthy of being out here and handling this kind of terrain, or is it we should come out with something different?
So the Ozarks is just a spider web of national forest roads, service roads. There's not really an official trail that goes through here. So this is a pretty rough road that we're on right now. A lot of the trails in the Ozarks are pretty established Forest Service roads. You've got 33-inch tires, a little bit of lift, and a winch. You can pretty much go most places in the Ozarks.
This big rock crawler's it's holding its own. I think it'll be beneficial for us, really. These mud holes are not your standard mud holes out west. I'm not a mud guy.
My rig is a 2018 Toyota 4Runner TRD Off-Road. I've got a 3-inch lift, 35-inch Nitto trail grapplers. Yeah, we're fixing to get into a section right here where the washouts just cut these grooves in there. Rigs like yours come in with those big tires and they dig it deeper and deeper and deeper, but we need to go kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like.
Yeah, nice. Let's go check it out.
You come out here to the Ozarks, and this red clay out here is slick. And those all-terrains, when you get that red clay in it, it doesn't clean out.
It'll be high and it'll drop off in that hole.
Yeah, I'll probably kiss my tail on that one.
So knowing your limitations is going to be pretty big to come through here.
When you're driving a Toyota versus a Jeep, the main thing is the difference between the independent front suspension on the Toyotas and the solid front axles on the Jeep. When the Jeeps have so much more articulation than I do. So when we go through these trails, I've got to think about approaching these obstacles with the mindset that I don't have the articulation, I am heavier, my center of gravity is up taller. If this was wet, I would have fallen in for sure. Yeah, and hit my side on the bank there. You might wonder why do I have a Toyota if the independent front suspension is not better for off-road? I can fly down these Forest Service roads because I can go over bumps and rocks that these guys are getting knocked around on. I'm a Toyota guy, It's comfortable. It's more comfortable than Jeep. The new JLs are pretty comfortable, but the Toyota is more comfortable.
We had the whole mindset of putting 42-inch tires on it because of the ledges that we climb, the waterfalls that we drop off of, just to keep that belly up off the ground. We built it more around rock crawling for big ledges and things.
I'm cheating. It's not cheating. In all fairness, it's not wet. I was supposed to get my butt kicked by the wet. They don't have no wet. It's just dry.
One of the great things about the Ozarks is there's a lot of history here. People have lived out here for hundreds of years, pre-Civil War.
Robert pulls over into a spot and we get out and he tells us about this graveyard that's been here. It's not marked, and when we walk in, I mean, all you see are these moss-covered rocks and some really, really old headstones. I mean, back into the 1800s. When you walk in and see that, it's pretty real of how life was back before we knew it.
I think as society, we've gotten a little bit softer with some of all of our technology and things, and those people, to get something or to make a living and to get food and to take care of their families, it took a lot to do that.
It was really moving to see these graves that were hundreds of years old, where mothers and infants died at the same time. This life was hard for these guys out now. We're enjoying the being in the rough country, but those guys lived out here.
I didn't know anything about chiggers. Unbeknownst to me, we were walking through the graveyard. We just started to check our pant legs, and sure enough, I had chiggers on my pants. Went in and we sprayed everything down, and hopefully we got them all off. But Robert says it takes a couple of days to find out, and I'm hoping in a couple of days I don't have a bunch of scratches on my legs. You start seeing these mud holes, and we go through a few, and they're deep, and then we hit some real big mud holes that you would never see.
So what we do is we'll just take a stick like this and we'll go and just kind of test the softness of the mud below the water. See how deep it is? It might be nothing. You got your sandals on?
So one of the requirements of coming out here was that, you know, we had to have a snorkel or of some sorts that we could let water pass through without getting sucked up into the intakes.
Snorkels are actually a good insurance policy. It's a very cheap insurance policy.
The South has got expressions. One of the expressions that we have is, if you're feeling froggy, jump. We would come up to a mud hole, and I could see that Matt was excited about it.
I would have driven through this and not even thought twice about it. Like, just pulled up and was like, yeah, no, it'll be good.
And I'm like, yeah, if you're feeling froggy, jump, you know, go ahead. We'll see what happens. Want to try it?
Why not? That's what we came out here for, right? Just try something different. That was muddy.
Yeah, I think 42's helped you on that one.
They did.
Yeah.
Very deep holes, so you got to be very conscious if you don't know the holes already, and making sure, because they can swallow Jeeps. I've seen it done before.
I had those all-terrains on here that you wouldn't have made.
You had to turn it and like get a little grip, kind of let the sidewalls eat.
The Nitto trail grapplers really pulled me out of some deep situations.
That's incredible. Soupy, soupy, soupy. This is insane. That's over his waist.
Got it? 42s, baby.
The window was open a half an inch. Yeah, for the winch line. Just a little bit. That's funny.
So when we come out to the Ozarks, obviously camping is in mind. Sometimes we will come up for a day or wheeling, but most of the time we want to come out here for a couple nights at least and camp. So when you come to the Ozarks, the temperature can vary. And you've got your normals and your averages. You can be in the 80-degree weather in December, or you can drop down to single-digit numbers. So when you do come out here, you want to kind of keep a couple things in mind. It's dispersed camping all throughout the National Forest. However, there's a couple of restrictions. They have food plots that are set up for wildlife. Stay out of those. Stay 100 feet away from water. Try to go to an established campground. Use an established fire ring. Definitely try to practice leave no trace. I'm a hammock camper. I love hammock camping. I've come from a backpacking mentality. I've got ground tents. I've got a rooftop tent. They're comfortable, they're nice, but there's something about a hammock that just appeals to me.
I work a lot and my phone is always ringing. Somebody's got a question about a vehicle, something. I really like to just turn my phone off and not have that ringing. It's the quality time that I get to spend with friends and family. You get to have conversation, what's going on in their life, and they get to ask what's going on in your life. You really get to just hang out and relax. Being out here is all about it. It's just relaxing and enjoying yourself.
A lot of times we like to prep our meals ahead of time. Sometimes it just depends on the type of journey it is, and sometimes we'll pre-cook things and bring it out on the trail, make it super simple. Sometimes we're full-blown pizza ovens out there on the trail, and sometimes it's real easy, and sometimes we go all out.
But something about being outdoors on a real fire after you've had a hard day and the camaraderie that you build through adversity, and you get back and you share a meal together, I mean, it just means something. And it's good for your soul. So I don't know, something about the campfire always makes a meal better. Night was awesome. I think the temperatures got down into the high 30s maybe. We were all snug as a bug in our hammocks, at least some of us that were in hammocks. And man, I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. It felt so good, but we got a lot of trail today, a lot of trail. There's some pinstripes. Careful, Matt, that's some Arkansas pinstripes right there. You know, even though you're comfortable with a good night's sleep, all of a sudden your brain will just turn on thinking about what do we got to do today. And I knew that we had some technical climbs coming up. Not a problem for John and Matt and their rigs, but the Forerunner, it's a challenge for. When this is wet, this is real trouble for me.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I think with your 42s, you should just go right over the big stuff right here. Just roll over it.
Matt's on 42s in a Jeep, so he's got solid axle. He can take the harder alternate line, or he can take the normal line. Robert with the 35s and at IFS, we got to do some rock stacking for him so he does not get up too off camber. And me with 37s, I will take this same line. Necessarily don't need the rocks, but yeah, I'll just lock up and crawl right up it.
I'm gonna go ahead and put a tree saver up.
Okay.
And just get prepared. Hopefully I won't need it, but
Yeah.
if I am falling, I want you to jump on the truck and grab me. Keep me
for
from
sure.
rolling over. A lot of times we have winch lines that have little hooks on them, and you might think, you know what, I'll just go throw around that tree and hook my line, but the line is very small and it can cut into the tree, and we don't want to damage the tree. I mean, this is beautiful forest.
Okay.
Yeah, go wide. Yeah, come on, just go wide. All right, turn. All right, come on. Keep it driver. Keep it driver. Driver all the way, yeah. Full lock driver. Come on, climb it up. You got it. All right. Come on.
I have never seen a Jeep on 42s out here anyway. None of that was driver skill. It was all the machine. No, he did good.
I did dig a big hole, so I didn't want to sit there and make a bigger hole for anybody.
It's always funny watching Jeep guys try to work out their line, you know, and because they have to rely on their vehicles and not their driving skills. Y'all got it figured out? Come on, baby. You got it.
Yes, that's how he normally does it. He's usually always lifting the tire.
More interesting in the 4Runner than these stupid Jeeps. That's just too easy.
It's just capability. That's all I'll say it is. When you make it look easy, you're just more capable.
This is a beautiful, beautiful time of year in the Ozarks. October, November, this is the best time to go in my opinion.
Coming out here to the Arkansas Ozarks, you know, I know that there's a lot of history back on south down here, and it was so cool to just see back in the 1800s what life was like.
We like taking people out and showing them the history of the Ozarks, right? It kind of just sets the context of how people used to live out here. And so when you're wheeling, it puts you kind of in a different frame of mind. And so you like to say, like, this is the schoolhouse that was here. This is Bub's cabin. This is how these people used to live. And imagine going up and down these same kind of roads and maybe horses and wagons back before they even had automobiles. A good way to show off the Ozarks.
You go out four-wheeling and camping, friends and camping, and it's what it's about. It was epic. It was just so awesome.
My wife knows that I need this, and she wants me to go. And so we always want to go back home and get with our families and make sure they're safe. And that's one of our standard prayers that we do is, keep our family safe while we're gone. But they know we need this. This has been a good one. This trip, when I describe this trip, it'll be a memory for a long time.
I want to thank John and Robert and their team for having us out here and their hospitality. What a great time we had. I want to thank Nitto Driving Line for having us out. I want to thank all you viewers for making this possible, to watching the show, and I hope that we get to see you guys out on the trail.
Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.